Welcome. In today's video, we will discuss the new automatic effective length calculator for the AISC 360 steel design specification that is now available in STAAD.Pro. The effective length parameters are used to check the slenderness of individual members and the calculations for the capacity of the members for flexural buckling and lateral torsional buckling. The effective length parameters can be specified manually in STAAD.Pro through the Design Parameters dialog. In this dialog, we will notice that the default parameters are listed, and these parameters are automatically considered during the steel design calculations unless otherwise indicated. By default, STAAD.Pro will consider KY and KZ equal to 1.0. In addition to that, STAAD.Pro will consider your LY and LZ, that's the length of the member about the local Y and Z axis, equal to the overall length of the analytical member from starting node to ending node. Let's now turn our attention to our sample model in STAAD.Pro. For this particular model, we are performing an analysis and design according to the AISC 360-16 LRFD specification, and we are including Chapter C, which specifies the direct analysis method for the stability design. Considering the analysis and design method, the default effective length factors KY and KZ are appropriate for this particular model. Now let's discuss the member lengths. For this model, I'm noticing that the default member lengths, LY, and the LZ parameters might not be appropriate for the steel girders and the steel columns. Let's start with the steel girders. For steel design, the infill beams will be bracing the minor axis of these girders. For the major axis, however, the girders are unbraced for the entire length of the girder. This means that the member length, LZ, equals the total span of the girder and not the length of each analytical member. Now in STAAD.Pro 2023 Update 2, a new tool is available to assist in the specification of the effective length parameters, and this tool can be found in the Steel Design dialog. In the Workflow Page Control area, select the Design tab and ensure your current code is selected as the AISC 360-16 specification. We can see that I've already specified this design standard and method, and I've already specified a few design parameters. At this point, let's go ahead and click on the Effective Length tool. Now, the Effective Length Calculator tool can be used to determine both your K factors and your L factors for any selected member in your model. Now, for my particular model, I'm going to be designing the steel members for stability using Chapter C, or the direct analysis method. If, however, I was using the effective length method or the alternative method for the design for stability as specified in Appendix 7, I can go ahead and enter a few of the parameters within this dialog. Those would include the method parameter. This will be specified to the AISC, which instructs the program to use the nomograph. And I can enter the appropriate braced options for my particular structure. Now for this structure, I'm going to assume KY and KZ both equal 1.0. So while using this tool, we will generate those effective length factors, but I'm going to go ahead and remove them from the input file. For me, for this particular models, especially when I'm talking about my girders, I'm most interested in asking the program to generate my LZ. So let's go ahead and select the members on our model. Now for this particular model, I went ahead and set up some groups of members. In every member where I would consider the member to be a girder, I created a girder group. Those are members that have been segmented into smaller analytical components. So let's go ahead and say select group, and I'm going to select my girders group. We'll click OK. You can also select them on the model and also highlight these particular members. Now once you've selected your members, you're going to go ahead and tell the program that you want the unbraced length to be calculated automatically. To calculate the unbraced length automatically, the program will use a few pieces of information. The first piece of information is the theta angle. So if you have a member coming in at a skew angle to either a girder or a column, you can tell the program based on that angle whether or not that member will be bracing that member in that direction. In addition to that, the unbraced length of each member will consider the collinearity of the members that are currently selected. At this point, we're ready to go ahead and generate our effective length parameters for the girders in our model. To do that, let's go ahead and click on the Generate button. Now again, for this particular model, I'm most interested in the LZ parameter. Now at this point, if I want to have all of this information added to the input file, let's go ahead and click on the Add button and take a look at what we have. Here we can see that all of that information, the KYs, KZs, LYs, and LZs, have officially been added to the input file. Now, as I mentioned, I'm really only interested in the LZ parameters, so I can go ahead and delete the rest. So here I'll be able to see what the unbraced length for each member will be considered for the major axis of the members. What this new tool has done for me is it's gone ahead and saved me some time and also was able to consider the bracing that I have currently in my model. If I wanted to double check any of these values, I can go to the Utilities tab in the ribbon toolbar, use my node-to-node tools, and take off my node-to-node distance. Here I can see that this length matches the LZ parameter that was automatically specified. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the columns within our model. So I have several columns in my model that are supporting this upper roof level. I can see that some of the columns are braced in both directions, and some of the columns are braced in only one direction. I can also determine whether or not this provides sufficient bracing for those columns based on my steel specification that I'm utilizing. Now I'm going to go ahead and say that these diagonal members I've gone through and have determined that they are providing sufficient bracing to the columns. But again, I want to be very certain that these particular columns are only being braced in one direction as far as the calculations go and the slenderness ratio is. So let's go ahead and specify the unbraced length for those particular columns using the effective length tool. Again, in the steel design dialog, let's go to the effective length tool. Now, for this exercise, let's go ahead and select those particular members on the model, and we're going to use the beams cursor for this and hold down your control key. So now I've selected the 4 columns that are supporting the upper platform level. Then I'm going to determine what my theta angle is. Okay, so if a theta angle, this would be 90 degrees minus whatever theta angle you have, and then that means that any member that's framing into that member that's within that angle range will consider to be bracing that member. If it's not within that range, it won't brace the member. So if I left it at its default and then click Generate, we can see that all 4 columns, we're going to see your LY and your LZ are the full length of the column. Now, if I wanted to say, well, I want you to consider these bracing members, and these aren't coming in perpendicular to those columns, okay? I'm going to say, let's widen this angle. I'm going to say everything within 45 degrees should be bracing those columns. Let's go ahead and enter that information. click on the Generate button. Now here I can see that when specifying this information, that the program will recalculate the overall length in the local Y and Z axis for each of the currently selected members. These are the values I'm going to use in my steel design. So let's go ahead and click Add, and then it's going to automatically close. Now again, I'm going to go ahead and search through this dialog, and I'm going to decide that the KY and KZ values will be using the default of 1.0. That being said, I'm going to go ahead and delete those values for my purposes. Now at this point, this concludes our process for asking the program to assist us in calculating our effective length parameters using the new effective length tool that's available in STAAD.Pro 2023 Update 2.
If you found this video helpful, please give it a like. If you want to see more such series, consider subscribing to our channel. Thank you, and see you next time.